Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So, as you know, in my previous video, I told you that I will be bringing a very special video very soon. So, let me tell you about it. Uh, as you know, I took a break from chess after playing too many tournaments that were organized here in Delhi, and it was very necessary because once you start playing too much chess, it gets into your head. Maybe you're doing something else, and you imagine pieces moving, and of course, you wouldn't like that. So I took a break of around 1 month from chess in which I decided not to play chess and not to, solve any puzzles or anything related to chess. But the thing is that when you fall in love with this game, you can't stay away from the game for much longer, okay? And this was what happened. So I thought that while being away from chess, why not to add one aspect of preparation to my chess? Maybe I'm not playing chess, but I'm doing something that will help building my temperament or my preparation while playing once I'm back. So definitely we all are amateurs at some level, and we don't have 100% means preparation. We are not all prepped like IMs and GMs. So every time there is a bit of aspect to be added to our preparation. Maybe we are not prepped with opening. Maybe there's someone who plays positionally and is not prepped with opening. So one aspect he can add is learning the openings. Maybe a player is not able to imagine, mate in 3, mate in 4. So he can solve puzzles. So these are different aspects. So after playing chess for around 1 year, I think that there is a bit of preparation that can be added, and it was visualizing chess. So while I was away from chess, I thought to add this thing to my preparation in which you can remember the squares and imagine pieces moving like 4 to 5 moves. So before telling you anything else, let me tell you first what is visualization. So visualizing is basically you would have seen that after playing games in press conferences, players come and talk about lines like maybe something like bishop e6, rook d1, king c1. So how do they imagine that? It is visualization, right? They are seeing public in front of them. They are talking on mic, but in their head they are imagining pieces moving. Okay, so this is visualization. Now, knowing what is visualization, coming next to why visualization. So the reason why a good chess player always should be able to visualize, the very first thing is that uh, you will be able to have an edge over your opponent. Okay, like maybe your opponent is an amateur, he will be imagining only 1 to 2 moves. But if you are able to visualize pieces, then very quickly, within a matter of seconds, you will be able to visualize next 4 to 5 moves. Like I play this, he plays this, he plays this, and you will be able to see things. Okay, so once you visualize a game, like I am here to about to visualize the famous game played between Viswanathan Anand and Magnus Carlsen in the 2013 World Championship. Okay, so Magnus Carlsen won this. It was a World Championship match, and it was one of the, I think, uh, in between one of the games. Okay, so it was a 58 move game, and it helps me to visualize uh, how pieces move like next 4 to 5 moves. Okay. So the very first thing is visualizing next 4 to 5 moves. So visualizing helps in this thing. Okay. Imagining next 4 to 5 moves. The second thing it helps is uh, making your preparation solid. Okay. Like once you're able to visualize, very quickly you will be able to remember games. Okay, like maybe you will see a game today, and I took a long time to visualize this thing because I told you I was away from this for 1 month, so I got a long time to remember this game. Okay, and but the thing is that once you visualize one game, once you remember one game, after that you will be able to quickly remember many games. And what that helps, it helps you to remember positions uh, that in which you know what is the best move. Okay, like if you remember and visualize a famous game, Then next time if any of such position comes in between that game in your real game, in that case you will be able to find the best move, right? So it helps you find critical moves and time crunch situations. Okay. So first thing is it helps you imagine next 4 to 5 moves very quickly, giving an edge over your opponent. Second thing is that it remembers, it helps you to remember famous games through which you will be able to remember a lot of positions where you know the best move. Okay, and it will help you to see similar positions in your real games. And the third and the last thing is that every chess player does it. Okay, so why not to add this aspect? So because of these three things, I thought that visualizing is a good thing to add in your preparation, and that is why uh, I decided to remember this game that was played between Vishwanathan Anand and Magnus Carlsen. So talking something about the game, just hold on for a second. Okay, so this was a 58 move game played in 2013 World Championship between Vishwanathan Anand and Magnus Carlsen. In this, Magnus Carlsen won, and it is one of the games after seeing which I began playing chess. Okay, so it is a very special game for me. So now you know that why to visualize. Okay, what is visualization? So let me tell you my proof that I have visualized the game and I remember quite few of it. So let me just quickly give you a recap of it verbally. So Carlson starts by, so I'm telling you the move order, okay? And then we will analyze this game also. So the move order goes something like c4, e6, d4, d5, knight c3, c6, uh, e4, breaking the center, d captures e4, knight captures e4, bishop b4 check, knight c3, coming in between the bishop and the king. Then c6, okay, because if white is not uh, cautious, in that case the pushed pawn will take the pawn and then will pin the knight because it is already pinned by the bishop. So after knight c3, protecting the king from bishop check, bishop b4 check, Anand plays c5. Okay, now Carlsen plays with white a3, threatening the bishop, bishop a5. Okay, knight f3, knight f6, bishop e3, knight c6, simple development. Queen d3, c captures d4, knight captures d4. Okay, knight g4, threatening the bishop on e3. Castles, long castle. Knight captures bishop on e3, f captures knight on e3. Bishop c7, knight captures c6, d captures c6, queen captures d8, bishop captures d8. Now, bishop e2, king e7, bishop f3, bishop d7, knight e4. Okay, creating a weak square on c5. So protecting it, bishop b6 comes, threatening the bishop, c5 goes, okay, bishop b6, c5, f5, okay, uh, c takes bishop on b6, f takes knight on e4, b7, threatening the rook, rook b8, bishop captures e4, and rook captures b8. Now, rook f1, rook d5, rook f4, g5, rook f3, h5, rook f1, bishop e8, okay, bishop c2, rook c5, rook f6, h4, e4, a5. Now, king d2, rook b5, b3, bishop h5, king c3, rook c5, king b2, rook d8, rook f2, rook d4, rook h6, okay, rook h6, bishop d1, offering a trade of bishops, bishop b1, uh, Carlson denies that, bishop b1, okay. Now, rook d5, okay, rook b5, king, uh, yeah, king c3, threatening to take the rook, c5, okay, c5 protecting the rook, rook b2, Okay, rook b2, e5. Okay, rook rook g6, threatening to take the pawn on g5. Then a4, rook takes g5, a takes, sorry, rook takes b3. Okay, after rook takes g5, rook takes uh, b3. Okay, rook takes back b3, bishop takes b3. Now, rook captures e5 check. Okay, king d6, rook h6, then rook d1, e5 check, king d5, bishop h7, rook c1 check, king b2, rook g2. Okay, now bishop g8 check, king c6, rook h6 check, king d7, bishop takes b3, pawn takes b3, king takes b3, rook takes g2, rook takes h4, and king e6. Okay, now a4, king takes e5, a5, king d6, rook h7, blocking the king to come and take the pawn that is going to queen. Okay, rook h7, then king d5. Okay, a6, c4 check, king c3, rook uh, rook a2. Okay, a7, king uh, king c5, h4, and on this moment Vishwanathan Anand resigns with the black pieces. Okay, so I think I have remembered it quite well. Has it helped me? Really, because I remember after this preparation and playing around maybe last 4 to 5 games, I think I have a pretty good accuracy that I did not manage before. So I played Fisher Random recently with my brother, and in that I had an accuracy of 89 in some 70 move game or something like that. Okay, so it was pretty impressive, right? And it has helped me a lot. In one blitz game, you won't imagine, in one blitz game with no increment, I managed to get an accuracy of 98. It was a 25 move game, but still in blitz it's hard. So this thing has really helped me. Now coming to how I did it. So basically, when you do it for the first time, uh, you have to imagine it like you can't imagine it all by once. Okay, so I enjoyed doing every four moves daily, and I tried to see the logic behind that. I tried to see the logic behind those four moves, why those four moves were played, why not other moves were played. Okay, so once you slowly and slowly you start to see the entire picture, no? In that case you will enjoy, you will see the beauty that lies in every snapshot of the game. Okay, and with every move there is a new snapshot. So the thing is, you have to enjoy, you have to make small targets to remember a game. So with this you can start, and now coming to the last part, let's analyze the game. So let's begin it. Okay, c4, right? c4 and e6. Okay, d4, d5, knight c3, c6. Okay, breaking the center with e4. Now pawn takes, knight takes, bishop b4 check, knight protects, c5. Okay, this was the thing I was telling, that if black pawn takes somehow, then this knight will be pinned. So this was the idea of playing the move c5, right? So okay, now very brave move comes a3, bishop a5. Okay, knight f3, knight f6, okay, bishop e3, knight c6, okay, queen d3, okay, queen d3. Now c captures d4, knight captures d4, wait for a second, okay, no problem, c4, e6, d4, d5, knight c3, c6, e4, d captures, knight captures, bishop check, knight comes, c5, a3, bishop a5, knight f3, knight f6, okay. So let's see if we are correct till here, because this is the thing I remember, so definitely it would be correct, 90% I can say. But let's see, is it the same position? c4, okay, okay, one small mistake. Actually, the thing is, you remember the pieces correct, but still, you are not able to play it on board. Okay, so definitely I'm not perfect at that. So maybe I'll slowly learn that thing with more and more of practice. Anyways, c4, e6, e6, right? E6, e6. Now it is fine. Cool. Now I think it will go well. d4, okay, d4, d5, okay. Now knight c3, c6, okay, c6, not c5, c6, okay, cool. Now breaking the center with e4, b captures e4, knight captures e4. So the problem was I pushed it two pieces ahead, two places ahead. I said e6, but I played e5, okay. So that was the problem. Anyways, this thing happens when you memorize it, but while playing it on board, it happens. Bishop b4 check, knight comes and protects it, okay. And just hold on for a second. So if you are imagining which game it was, so let me tell you, it was, I think it is open here. Just quickly telling you that, okay, so it was fifth game, okay. It was the fifth game between Magnus Carlsen and Vishwanathan Anand, okay. As you can see from, if I, anyways, let's not do more changes to it. Leave it. So it was the fifth game. I think it was the first decisive game where Carlsen struck and draw the first blood, because before this fifth game, all the four games were drawn. Okay. So, anyways, continuing with the analysis. Uh, okay. Knight comes to protect. Then comes c5, a3, bishop a5, knight f3. Okay. Knight f6, bishop e3, knight c6. Okay. Now, here, what important development can you make as white? It is queen d3. Okay, so queen d3 played. Now at this moment, Vishwanathan Anand decides to take this uh, pawn. So c captures d4. Okay, knight captures d4. Okay, now brave move comes here, not taking this knight, not taking, okay, not pushing the pawn maybe. Brave move comes knight g4. Okay, and Carlson long castles here. Now knight takes bishop. Okay, and f takes knight. The bishop retreats back because uh, it has no more job here. Okay, if it takes a knight, then queen will take, and it will be better position for white, slightly better. Okay, so Anand decides to retreat the bishop to c7. Okay, okay, cool. So as soon as the bishop retreats, Carlson decides to simplify the position. So knight takes knight on c6. Okay, uh, b takes c6. Cool. Queen takes, bishop takes. Okay, now at this moment, what can you play as white? Correct. So bishop develops and both the rooks are connected. Okay, king e7, brave of Anand to do it. Okay, what would have happened if Anand would have castled? White would have slightly increased. So you can see how much prepared Anand was for Carlsen, and still Carlsen broke his defense. So you can check this game 5, all the moves order are correct or not if you want, but I am pretty confident that it is correct. So king e7, okay, then bishop targeting this pawn, okay, bishop f3 protecting this pawn, bishop d7 played, okay, bishop d7, cool, cool. Now knight goes to e4, creating weakness on this place, right? c5. So what you will do naturally? Bishop b6, correct. Now brave move comes, boom, c5. Another brave move comes, f5. You take the bishop, I take the knight, and this is what happens. Takes, okay, takes, threatening the rook, rook b8, bishop captures, rook captures, b7. Right, this much has happened. Now the idea of doubling the rooks comes, and Carlson goes here. Very quickly, Anand also goes here, okay, taking this open file. So you know this thing, na, that rooks and queens are good on open and semi-open files. Okay, this is the idea behind playing these moves. Now, Carlson goes rook f4, and Anand quickly plays this. What is it? g5. Carlson retreats back, and Anand plays another aggressive move, h5. Okay, Carlson doubles, and very naturally, what black would do would protect this square with bishop. Now, as soon as bishop comes, bishop goes here, rook pins it. Okay, quickly I see something. Rook pins it. Now, the idea can be bishop g6. Okay, and creating some sort of weakness here. So this was played. Okay, now what you will play? You will play probably this. Okay, so rook f6 was played. I don't know why. Okay, but rook f6 was played. Okay, now h4 was played at this point. Okay, then e4 and a5 were played. this thing. Okay, why e4 was played? Protected with the bishop. Earlier it was not protected. Cool. Now king slowly tries to uh, develop. Okay, this rook becomes greedy and targets the pawn. Pawn b3, bishop h5. Okay, now king c2, rook c5, king b2, and blocking the king to take this, and also bringing the rook to the open file. Rook d8 played. Now this square is weak, right? The d2 square. So rook comes and protects it. But what Anand says here is that I was not coming there, I was actually coming here. So rook d4 played. Okay. Now what is the idea? Yeah. So rook threatens the bishop. Bishop goes and asks for trade. Carlsen resigns, and Anand plays this, creating some weakness on right. b3 square. So what you will do? Carlsen threatens to take this unprotected rook. Rook is protected with c5. Now Carlsen protects this weak square b3. Okay, and Anand protects it with another defender e5. Now what happens? So Carlsen finds it that nothing can be done to save this pawn. Okay, so eventually it would be lost only. So he plays this. Okay, it can't be protected, right? The rook is blocked and such things. Okay, so this was played. Anand plays this. Okay, rook captures. Rook captures. A series of captures occur here. Rook captures. Bishop captures. Rook e5 check. King d6. Okay, king d6. Now the rook is unprotected, so it has to run back. So rook runs back. Now this rook threatens the bishop. Okay, this because this bishop is unprotected. So what can you play here? Carlsen decides to play this. Okay, but if we do this thing, what happens then? Nothing, it is still draw. Okay, so I think there were maybe two best moves anyways. But unnecessarily it would create this problem of check now. If king goes here, and then you can't protect it with this also because this would be hanging. So bishop would take after all. So that is why before doing anything, Carlsen decides to give check to the king and empty the way for bishop to move on the diagonal. This was played. Okay. Now king comes down, bishop runs back to b7. Okay, and rook gives a check. Okay, king threatens it, and it goes back to you know uh, threaten this to threaten to take this pawn. Okay, so now what idea do you have as white? Okay, so you can give a check, uh, targeting to take one extra pawn in this trade that happens. So check, king can't take this pawn, so it goes to c6. Then rook goes h6 check, king goes d7. Now at this point, once the king is locked behind this file, the bishop takes, pawn takes, king takes this extra pawn, but rook also takes this. Rook takes this, king comes, and very brave move. You take my pawn, I don't fucking care. a4, king captures, a5, king goes d6, rook locks it. Then what happens? King d5. Okay, king d5, a6 was played, okay, check, and in the end all these three would come in same line. So king c3, rook come. What was the idea of giving check? Because king can't move anywhere else. Why can't it move anywhere else? Because there would be problems of. Why can't it go here? Because it would create problems of passer pawn, right? Queening. So king comes here, and now rooks get here. So this was the idea of black to first give a check and make way for rook to come here. But now there is no chance because a7 was played, king c5 was played, and with this move by Magnus Carlsen, Viswanathan Anand decided to resign at this point. So what was the reason why black didn't have a move? The king could eventually go up and take this pawn, right? But but this pawn would eventually become a passer. I hope you have got it. And this king is too slow for this to win. So there was absolutely no chance for black to continue playing. Okay, so that is why Vishwanathan Anand resigned as black. So this was a small game. I'm planning to not make this video too long. Basically, I told you uh, three major things in this. First of all, what is visualization? Why to visualize? Okay, you get to imagine next 4 to 5 moves in critical situations. Okay, so it improves your imagination in critical situations. You don't have you lessen the blunders. Okay, because you can imagine better. So good imagination. Second thing is, what is the second thing? It helps you to know that in such positions, what is the best move? Okay, because once you start remembering games, like I enjoyed a lot remembering this game, so definitely I will maybe a shorter one, but I will memorize maybe next game. So once you see too many positions from too many games now, similar positions will come at some time uh, in your play, and at that time you will know the best move. Okay, so you remember a lot of positions and the best move in that. The second advantage is that, and the third thing, as I told, every good player does it. Okay, you see that players in press conferences saying these lines. Okay, bishop e6, rook d1, something like that, king c1. So how do they do that? Because the chessboard is imprinted in their mind. Okay, and the very tough thing is remembering the squares. Okay, because once you play with black, so black side comes here. Once you play with white, white side comes on this side. Okay, so it is very tough to uh, imagine the squares, the square notations from both the sides. Okay, so it will only be easy for you if you remember the lines, remember the games. Okay, so that will help you visualize better. So basically my idea was to remember the squares, and the best thing one can do was to remember the games. Okay, so this was the one thing, uh, one aspect which I added to my preparation, and definitely I'm seeing uh, the advantage of it, okay, in my games. So hope you have enjoyed it. Hope you don't have any questions. And this was how to visualize uh, famous games in chess, good games. Of course, you wouldn't like to remember a game that is between 900 and 800 euro, right? So you have to start remembering games by grandmasters. Okay? So hope you have enjoyed this video. Bye bye. Happy chess. Happy checkmate.